Echo is the most underrated hero in Overwatch 2. When thinking of good DPS picks in Overwatch 2 right now, most people are going to default to Sojourn and Reaper because of the recent Overwatch League Grand Finals. However, while those heroes are strong, Echo can absolutely take over lobbies in Overwatch 2 when played correctly. She has fantastic mobility, which allows for easy access to any high grounds, along with insane burst potential with her cooldowns. Her ability to drop down, assassinate a squishy, and get out immediately with her flight is incredibly powerful. She gets even stronger when paired with a pocket, and the abundance of Mercy players in Ranked makes this pretty common. Echo allows you to take an off-meta pick in Mercy and turn the two of you into an absolute unstoppable force. So for all you Echo newbies out there, let's talk about how a typical fight on Echo should look like, along with the things you want to be looking for when going into a fight. Echo's mobility allows for great scouting potential, as well as getting her places that are inaccessible to most other heroes in the game. Before every fight starts, you should use your flight to scout for information, as well as throw out some long-range shots and use your sticky bombs to potentially snipe some pre-fight kills. Gathering this information will let you know what flanks are available and what targets are best for you to initiate on. So let's say, for example, you want to commit to an enemy Ana on the high ground, but there's an Ashe sitting on an off angle that'll burst you down if you try it. If you jump the Ana, you might still get the kill, but you're gonna die for it too. So instead of trading your life, find a path or a flank onto the Ashe and take care of her first. Eliminating your biggest threats early in the fight will allow you to go on whoever you want for the rest of it.
Restoring health systems.
Once you've gathered enough information on the enemy positions, try and find the safest route to an angle that will allow you to either pressure the enemy or fully commit onto it if it's isolated. This is where you're going to use your first of 2 flight cooldowns to path to an enemy. Using your first flight, try and fly above and behind or to the side of the enemy. Try and save your second flight cooldown for when you're leaving after getting the kill, or when you start getting pressured by the target or an off angle and you just have to leave. Here's a really quick tip for when you're using your flight with Echo. Try and use roofs and like slanted surfaces to give your cooldown extra time in the air so that the second you land and you're diving on a target, you have it immediately. This also gives you easier access to flanks coming behind people, and it allows to give you easy kills from places where people really don't expect it at all. Decision making is an issue I see a lot of Echo players struggle with. Usually they're just going to hard commit onto the first thing they see, no matter what. They're just going to full send all their cooldowns into it, and they forget to look at the enemy's composition and think about the target that's going to provide the most value to the enemies, right? Usually this is going to be a support, or like we talked about earlier, it's going to be a hit scan that can actually shut you down. Now, whether you're attacking or defending, you always want to be looking for high ground on Echo. Not only is it better to control this so enemy DPS don't have the advantage on you, it also allows for what we're going to call drop kills. Okay, a drop kill is, as it sounds, a kill that you get while dropping off of a high ground. You can quickly drop off, dump your cooldowns into a squishy, and immediately fly back to the high ground with little to no risk. You always want to be looking for kills with your flight up. If you commit onto something without your flight, you just kind of fall down onto it, and then you have pretty much no option of escape. And you just have to try and trade, and we don't ever want that. So let's go ahead and talk about Echo's basic burst combo. It starts with the stickies. Once you've thrown them out, you want to immediately use your beam on the target. If enough of your stickies land, the target's going to be below half HP, and your beam's going to melt them so fast that they're not going to have time to react, or the supports aren't going to have enough time to actually support them and give them heals. Once the target's dead, you can keep fighting if you haven't been spotted, or, you know, if you're getting poked out, then you just leave. Typically, if you're committing alone, you're going to have to leave after you've killed just one person.
Thank you for the assistance.
Okay, really big tip for Echo's flight. Change the setting, hold for flight to on. This allows for really quick bursts of speed when you just tap the button, and it gives you so many more options in your mobility for your entry, your disengage, just normal pathing. Like, look at the difference here in just tapping the button with the setting on, and now here it is double tapping with the setting off. The difference in speed is crazy. And that's pretty much it for what you want to be looking for in a fight. You know, once you've secured that one kill, you just keep looking to cycle everything that we talked about until, you know, you've either won or lost the fight. Okay, now that you understand the steps to fighting on Echo, let's go ahead and talk about some matchups. Echo's obviously going to be strong against characters with limited range, you know, like Junkrat, Reaper, Genji, Brig. But she can struggle against characters with consistent damage from long range, you know, your hit scan, like your Ashe, Soldier, Widow. These aren't hard counters. They're just the targets you need to look for that can actually, like, shut you down and contest you decently easily if you're not focusing them. Here's a tier list that I made of Echo matchups. Hopefully this is going to help you guys in deciding, you know, should I play her here? There's never going to be a time where she's not playable. If you're better than the enemy and they run double hit scan, you'll still be able to beat them. It's just going to require a little more brain power on your part. But, you know, if you feel like you're struggling, don't be afraid to switch off. There are still plenty of picks that can contest double hit scan pretty easily, like your Sojourn. You could even, you know, go like some kinds of flankers into that. You have options if they're trying to shut you down on Echo. So the last thing to talk about when it comes to Echo is her ult. Right, in Overwatch 1, it was considered one of the best ults in the game because you could copy a tank and you would be at full HP, and then it also gives you an extra life. In Overwatch 2, they reworked it so that the maximum amount of HP that Echo can have while copying a tank is 300, as you can see here.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Diva.
This makes copying tanks much more risky, as you don't have, you know, nearly the amount of HP to actually farm an ultimate that you had in Overwatch 1. So because of all that, copying DPS is now much more impactful than copying tanks, because you need to be looking for ultimates that are gonna get you final blows easily, and the reduction of CC that was implemented in Overwatch 2 makes it so that DPS won't get, you know, you're not gonna get instantly stun locked the second you copy a DPS. The one exception to this rule, I would say, is Diva. You do only have 300 HP, but because she has so much defense matrix, you effectively still have like 600 if you're using your DM properly, and that lets her live long enough to actually, you know, get a bomb. Sometimes even 2 if you get one quickly, because you get your remech back so fast. Some of the best DPS copies are going to be Sojourn, Reaper, and even Sombra. Even though she's been nerfed recently, she can still be super impactful because you're going to get an EMP so fast. Supports can sometimes get value from a copy, but it's really RNG, because most of the time you're not going to be able to get the ultimate before you're focused down, or it's not even going to be impactful enough in the fight. Kiriko is probably the best copy choice for a support with how strong Kitsune Rush is, and she can also keep herself alive really easily. Just remember to prioritize healing when you copy Kiriko, because that's going to give you a lot more ult charge than just going for damage. Also, keep in mind that just because a copy isn't ideal, if you're going to die, just use it. Using it to stay alive is always going to provide value no matter who the copy target is, and if you're struggling to find a target that is going to provide you more value than just staying as Echo, just don't copy. Just save it until you're struggling and you're about to die. There's no point in forcing a copy if it's not going to get more value than just staying as Echo would have. Okay, that is pretty much it. I hope this guide's helpful for anyone who's trying to learn Echo or aspiring to play Echo. Just keep in mind she's not a super easy character. Just give it time. Keep practicing what we talked about in the video. Practice your mechanics. And I think eventually you'll see like how strong this character really is. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be providing lots of coaching, general tip videos on YouTube here. Even over on TikTok. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter too. You know, I tweet about things. Tweet about Overwatch. Okay, guys. Hope you have a good time. See ya.